'Cause I'm riding the pine, riding the pine. It's Chronicles of the Fourth Line. I'm just sitting on a bench with two good friends of mine. That's why I'm riding the pine, with Punchy Langer in summertime.
And hello, everybody. Welcome to episode number 27 of Riding the Pine, Chronicles from the Fourth Line, brought to you by the Hockey House. How you doing, boys? Good to see you tonight. Big show tonight. We got a little special guest waiting in the wings to come and join us. How are we feeling tonight, boys?
Good.
Yep.
Yarp.
So tonight we're going to explore somewhat something that we've explored before about being on the road with your gear, traveling around and playing hockey in different spots, sometimes just playing on the road itself. Who knows where we're going to get to? But anyways, Langer, what do we got for warm-ups?
Well, it's lockdown. What are you guys listening to? What are you listening to right now? If you're listening to music, because I'm a music guy. So
music-wise, eh?
So what's on the playlist? What's in heavy rotation at this point?
I got the Beverly Brothers.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
wasn't expecting that. That's cool.
I know.
For me, I guess it depends on what I'm up to. I've been listening to quite a bit. I've been digging back into the hit lately.
Okay.
Yeah, I've really been flying through.
What's your favorite hip album? If you have to listen to one record, what are you listening to?
If I had to listen to one over and over and over again, it'd probably be Fully Completely.
Right.
I would say.
Good one.
Day for Night is
Classic.
probably my favorite.
It is my favorite. It's a very dark, cold album,
It's
which represents
it's where
Canada.
it's the one that introduced me to the hip too. Right?
Yeah. Grace too, bud.
Yeah, that was the first song I ever heard live by them as well. So
Yeah. It's a good
got that
album.
amazing riff to get her started. What about yourself? What are you listening to?
I got a couple bands on the go right now. And I didn't even know they were Canadian bands until I looked them up. But the first ones, they're called I'm a metal guy. I'm a heavy metal. I'm a metalhead. So this band's called Unleash the Archers. They're from Vancouver. And I'm not into the growling and that kind of stuff. That's kind of scares me and that kind of stuff. But incredible musicians. They got a girl singer who's the best way I can describe it is it's kind of like if Iron Maiden had a girl singer.
Oh, okay.
If Ronnie James Dio and Bruce Dickinson had a child. So incredible musicians, but it's accessible though. Like you can listen to it.
Yeah.
And they write about anyway, if you're listening out there, the albums Apex and Abyss are amazing. Just incredible musicianship. Drummer's amazing. Singer's awesome. On YouTube, you can watch their song called Awakening, and it's a full band production. It's amazing. And the other guy I'm kind of found out by accident. He's a Canadian guy. I didn't know that. His name's Devin Townsend. I don't know if you ever heard of him. So he started off in this like hardcore punk metal band, and his songs are kind of like Pink Floyd, but it's metal. So it's got a really interesting vibe to it. So he's got a great singing voice, but his screaming voice is pretty incredible as well. Yeah, he's very eclectic and like he's self-deprecating. Like when he's on stage, like he takes the piss out of himself, but it's great songs, good music.
All right. I think you're the second person to say Devin Townsend.
Have you heard it before?
Yeah, I've heard the name.
He was in a band called Strapping Young Lad, and it was like it's screamo, like
It's a great band name.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I can't. That's not my thing. But check out his show at Royal Albert Hall. It's stunning.
Okay.
Sweet.
Even if you're not into metal, it's good. Summertime. What are you doing?
Oh man, I'm pretty much a guy. I like my old school punk rock.
Because you're the guy that walks around with the headphones on like all the time. All the time.
Alex Averin. That's the guy.
So you got the soundtrack like happening constantly.
I guess that's the look, anyways. Yes. But yeah, no effects. Face to
Heavy
Face,
Petting
Lag
Zoo, great
Wagon. Yeah, one of many great albums by NoFX. Man, they just
The
just
cover of that
rip them
album
out,
is
man.
hilarious.
Yeah, they got some good ones.
Checking that out.
Oh, God.
So where do you go? I need to ask you this before we get into the meat and potatoes. So when you don't know what to listen to, what's your go-to? Like you have to go back to the roots. So where do you go?
No, it depends what mood I'm in, man. Like
Yeah.
I like my oldies. I like my like classic rock, easy listening. Um, and then I like my punk. There's very few modern artists that I'm a fan of.
Yeah, me too.
Very, very few. Um,
Punch Man?
See, I
Sorry.
don't know, man. I like a little bit of everything, but I would probably say I listen
me
to
too.
quite a bit of hip hop. I do.
Yeah.
I listen to like old 1990s Mobb Deep,
I'm gonna
EPMD.
knock you out. Whoa. Ella,
Not
that's on
LL
mine.
Cool J.
Yeah, I
Not
got-
ladies
like,
like Cool James.
I got Ella.
But for me,
Yeah.
that was kind of the sort of the golden age of it, right? Like back in
Yeah.
that era,
Yeah.
it wasn't
Yeah, like-
about like taking chicks home and how much money I have, and it was about
No,
how
no,
well
it
they
was
can
actually
dance
about
and-
telling stories.
Pop a
And,
cap
yeah,
in your ass. And,
yeah, you know,
yeah, I know.
Shit was really
There was
bad
no
then.
mumble rap back then.
Rakim and
yeah, Erica B and
Eric
Rakim and
B. Yeah.
Yeah.
that's right.
Maestro Fresh West, and
KRS-One. Ooh,
Drop the
Maestro.
needle.
Drop
Maestro.
the needle.
Yeah.
Drop
Drop the, what was it?
You
Let your backbone
Man,
slide.
he like-
Your back.
Let it slip, let the rhythm rip, rob my shit.
yes,
rip,
you
rip.
know.
Unbelievable.
Ladies and gentlemen, kids of all ages.
Yeah, that was one of the best albums, man. And that was like
From Toronto.
that was in
Yeah.
the six before Drake.
Yeah,
He was the first big artist to come out of the six. Yeah,
He had a
that's for
good
sure.
or decent
Symphonies in
follow-up
full
albums.
effect.
Oh, that was the name of the album. Yeah, fucking A.
His second album was Black Tie Affair.
That's
and,
right.
It had a few pretty good songs on it, actually. Yeah. Yeah. That
Like,
was
'cause
my
that was the
hip-hop
era where they had
favorite.
like their hard. Yeah, me too. Like full
Where
like
they had
early
the what?
'90s school dances.
Oh yeah.
No,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I remember like on those records they would have like the hard song, and then there'd be some sort of ballad. You know, like
Oh yeah.
and,
That's
yeah,
right.
or what's
Yeah.
his name?
That's it. Have you seen
You know,
her?
like a private.
Tell me
Have you seen her?
Yeah. Right?
Exactly.
Who
A
was that?
private
That was
symphony.
MC Hammer. Wasn't that
Yeah.
MC Hammer?
Have you seen her? Tell me, have you seen her?
Oh,
It's like the slow, like it's
Oh my
like when you're
God.
getting down to business in the bedroom, right? And you
Yeah.
fire that on.
Every
Yeah.
I was like, what is this?
yeah.
Oh, you're talking about My Pony by Genuine.
Absolutely.
No
right.
diggity, no doubt, buddy.
All right, let's move along, man. We got one of the
Do a
boys.
episode on that.
We should do a whole episode
Yeah.
on that.
No,
But tonight is a special episode. We're coming at you guys. This will be released on Tuesday, but we're doubling up in a week here because we got a special guest on. Another Canuck who's like us, displaced here on this little island of the Long White Cloud, and this guy's a beauty. He's been mentioned on the show quite a few times before, especially by Benji Pop, and when he was on here, I think he
good
was.
context, of course.
Oh yeah, absolutely,
Yeah.
all the time. But this guy right now, it's fortunate for us. Like we're just a bunch of plugs on the fourth line, but we actually got a starter tonight. We got a starter who's played for three different NZIHL teams.
Starter.
Guy's actually ranked number 1 in the league right now for goaltending in the NZIHL from Saskatchewan. So without further ado,
Saskatoon.
from
Saskatoon.
Saskatchewan. So without further ado,
Austin,
let's bring him
Ontario.
in, Bring in Matty Canaday. So how you doing there, bud? Good to see you, man. We were just chirping a little bit in warm-ups there. I don't know if you caught it, but we were talking about bands in this lockdown, being stuck at home. What's on your playlist, bud?
Right on.
he's in mid chug.
Mid crush.
Yeah. No, he's talking, but we can't hear him.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. That's Good thing we
That's-
did a sound check
It's on
there.
the bench.
Yeah,
now.
that's great that we did a
Yeah.
sound check. So we can't even hear Matty Canaday right now. That's not a good thing.
What league is this? Where is this league?
Where is this league and where are we coming
Yeah,
from?
what
I guess we're gonna have to figure out Matty here a little bit. We cannot hear Matty right now, so we're gonna have to bring him back in
Does he know
afterwards.
sign language?
Does he know sign language? Is he there? Can you hear us, Matty?
Yeah, tight. Awesome.
We might have to send you out onto the rink for one shift and let you come back,
Yeah.
eh?
All right.
All right, stop some
All
puck.
right. Yeah,
Go stop
there
some
you go.
pucks there, Matty.
Is that a shark on his shelf? What is that?
It looks like an antler. It's an
It's a
antler in the
Dolphin
back.
shark. Oh, it's
Yeah,
a dolphin shark.
it's a Canadian
Like
fish hook.
something terrible happened in the ocean, and there's a dolphin shark there.
That's right.
Something terrible. Yeah,
Yeah.
washed up on the beach.
So we'll have to welcome him back in a couple minutes. He'll go out. He's used to starting anyways. He's not used to sitting on the bench with us, eh?
What are you drinking? What is that?
Yeah, it's a special night, man.
Is that like a pickle jar you're drinking that in?
It
Like a big
is-
pickle jar?
I'll have you know it's a jam jar.
Okay.
I'll have you know it's a jam jar. This is always it's something my dad started back in the day.
Drinking out of jars?
Yeah, like my dad. Well, my dad was, he was a
Mason
bachelor.
jar, eh?
He was a bachelor for a lot of the time. So
So
yeah,
you just
around
cleaned it.
yeah. So we'd have a little bit of jam going, and next thing you know, you got a drinking vessel there. Matty,
you go.
you're back,
Darn it. No.
and he's lost
on
again.
mute. No, he's
Oh no,
on
he's
mute.
on mute now.
Hold
Press
on.
the button.
Press the button.
Well, that was Cam.
I'm trying
No.
to source him out. Now he's on mute. That a boy. Sound test went great earlier.
Right. Did he have headphones on?
Yeah, he did. Actually, but he.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I don't know what he's done here.
Is there any other USB devices plugged into your computer? Going in full IT mode here.
Yeah.
There's something causing the so down on the
Different
bottom
skill sets.
right-hand side.
Oh,
there's
we're
a
guiding
speaker
through here.
icon, just to the left of the date and time there. You're gonna right-click on that.
He's got probably the greatest last name of all time, though.
You
know.
go open
Yeah,
sound
It's
settings.
unbelievable. I still. What
if
is
you're born
that,
in-
though? Is it?
But if you're born in Canada and your last name's Canaday, like July 1st is your day.
Yeah, you just write it off.
You got that open?
Like
Give
every
me a
year.
thumbs up there, buddy.
And you should probably heard it 1,000 times, but
He's like,
just
trying
yell
hard.
it
He's
out.
Just yell. You know what? Do this whole episode with a sharpie and a pen there, Canaday. Just write through your answers.
I want to know where that elk came from. There's got to be a
Where
story
did that-
behind that.
Is it an elk antler?
I don't see too many caribou walking around New Zealand, so is that a flea market thing? Get it there. Who knows?
Did you shoot it?
did he shoot it?
He did.
Is it ro-
He did shoot it. He did shoot it.
It looks young though. Is that good?
Wow, this is all kinds of trouble here.
That's
We'll figure.
Oh yeah, we'll
I just
figure
thought
it
this
out.
only
Oh,
happened. French people, this happened to. 'Cause Benji
I
couldn't
know.
figure it out either.
Yeah, I know. It took a little while. It's a good thing we did the quick sound test earlier. Everything sounded gravy at that point. It's all right though. We'll get them back.
Okay.
So going back, so my dad didn't go and buy all new dishes. My dad just bought a lot of jam and would wash them out. And yeah, so we used to eat off of these. We used to or drink out of these.
Jesus.
We used to
Some spaghetti in
drink.
it?
No, we used to drink out of these, and then Pops made
This-
sure he had like those really solid construction plates. Like it was like bachelor life, right?
Like for
You
camping.
drink out of the exactly. It's just like when dinner was done, you literally just roll up the whole the whole table setting and just chuck the
Tablecloth.
whole thing in the
Yeah,
garbage.
that's
Yeah,
right. That's great. Start
just
over tomorrow.
easy work and easy love.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Dang, he's still
press the
muted.
red
I
button.
can't hear him at all.
Press the red button.
Welcome to the bench, buddy. How you doing?
Canaday, say something. I can't hear
Can you
you.
hear me now, Aaron?
No. What?
I can.
Everybody else can. Okay, so hey, we want to know, what is that in the back? Where is that, an antler from?
Oh,
Like,
up here, yeah. That's one of them is an antler I shot, and one is when we bought this house, it was just in the basement, and it's
There's
white.
two of them?
Yeah, there's two. There's a white one underneath.
Oh, there is a
holding
white
up-
one.
Oh, yeah,
It
yeah.
looks like it's
I have no
holding up
idea
the
what
antler.
white-
hmm.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's another white
wow.
one.
You,
white
you inherited an antler.
Yeah, a white
That's
one. I have
good.
no idea what the fuck it would be for, but
Right.
we got it.
It's from a
Or
goose.
From?
Yeah, a big Canadian goose, eh?
Yeah.
So,
Goose.
an elk goose. So, welcome to the show, Matty. How you doing, buddy?
Yeah, good.
It's good to see
Fun
you.
be
So,
on here.
Good to
as
hear
we
you.
as we got going there for warm-ups, we were talking about being stuck on lockdown. And what are you blaring in your headphones? What are you listening to around the house? Because
Yes, I did. I did hear this. So, if I'm listening to music, it's always country. It's always Kip Moore or something like that. But I've actually just been listening to a shitload of podcasts because I've been doing Renos and
yeah.
so lots
Yeah.
of podcasts. But if not, it's country for sure.
So what are you listening to? What's got your ear?
Little Johnny Cash.
Old school? Or you,
Oh yeah, old school for sure. For
are
sure.
you pop country? Are we
Shania
talking Alan
Twain?
Jackson?
That ain't really pop cut. Like best song ever is "Drive" by Alan Jackson. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I was gonna go Chattahoochee because that video is awesome.
Oh, my
Seeing a
God.
guy-
Way down
Seeing
yonder,
a guy
cat.
Seeing a guy skiing in a pair of
and jeans. Yeah.
and a hat on,
It's
you
good.
can't get more. You can't get more country than that.
It's pretty greasy. I love it.
It's a good song.
Yeah.
That's Toby Keith though, ain't it?
Yeah, love Toby Keith.
Red
Red Soul.
Yeah, that was the dumbest song ever when that came out, and it just
Yeah, I remember that.
I fucking loved it.
It's a banger.
What were you guys listening to? I missed that. Obviously, I couldn't hear her talk before.
Well, it's okay. You can watch it on Tuesday when this comes out. Eh?
Yeah, fast forward 45 minutes in, then you can hear me.
Yeah. There you go. Well, luckily we'll be able to edit that out, hopefully,
Yeah, true. Yeah.
or it'll just be entertaining for whoever doesn't hear
That's
what you're
right.
saying in the
Yeah.
beginning.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm telling you, we were only a minute or two away from me suggesting that you just got a whiteboard and a pen. We just keep her going.
One of
Yes or
those
no
Love
questions
Actually
only.
signs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anyways, let's get down to the dirt, man. We got you on the show, so we got to abuse you a little bit, poke your brain, and hear about how you came to be in the land of the long white cloud. Just another Canadian stuck on an island like us. So,
Yeah.
without further ado, I'm gonna toss this straight over to Somerville and let them get going with the first.
Alrighty there, Canaday. Are you ready? Right. Well, tell us a little bit about yourself. Where did you grow up? How did you get involved with hockey or ice hockey, as they call it here?
Yeah. Grew up Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, born and raised.
Saskatoon, Saskatchewan.
Yeah, Saskatoon. Nice place.
Saskatoon.
Thank you, God's country. Yeah. And shit, I don't.
Tell us a little bit about Saskatoon there.
Yes.
I mean,
It's gorgeous for about 3 months of every year, and then it's minus 40 for the rest of it.
where do
so-
you go for like vacay when you're in Saskatoon?
Do you go to Manitoba?
Comes everybody. Yeah, fuck. That's the only place we would never go. Like it's only up from Manitoba, and then it gets better as you get out closer to the coast. So
Jump in the family truckster and head to
The truckster.
head to Kenora or anything
Manitoba are
like
the
that.
only
All right.
people that are greasier than us. They're gross.
Yeah, no doubt.
The one thing I know about Saskatchewan too. Well, with today, I seen your cute little picture there with old Mattis and your puppies. It's International Dog Day today. It makes sense that you have a dog and like dogs, because Saskatchewan's one of those places where your dog can never really run away from you.
Yeah.
You
Well,
can
you-
watch him run away for
Watch
3
him
Run
days.
away for a week.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I grew up, man. It was great. I still got all my family and a bunch of buddies and stuff back home, but lots have branched out and gone elsewhere. But that's kind of how I ended up coming over here. It was 19.
Whoa, you're getting ahead of yourself here. I
Oh,
said,
were
tell
we
me-
going through the whole
Yeah,
story?
come
here?
on.
How long
Oh, yeah, you
got?
get-
Fucking
This is
hell.
Somerville's period.
That's
Don't
good.
fuck with his chi, man.
How did you get involved in hockey?
I was born Canadian.
Yeah, right.
Okay,
That's the best answer.
Yeah, I
Were
didn't want to
you,
get bullied. So.
Were you always a goalie?
No,
like,
actually, I
yeah.
used to play forward. I loved forward up until about end of Adam, and then I realized, my dad tells me anyways, I realized that you could get a bit more glory winning games as a goalie than you can being a goal scorer. And
Okay,
then
so that's the first time Dad condoned being a goalie.
oh, he wasn't
'Cause
into it because then he found out how much it cost.
Yeah,
my dad
exactly.
talked me out
Because
of
my
it,
dad
yeah.
goalie. He's like,
My dad had ended up having 2 goalies and 2 defensemen. So
Oh,
damn.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Who got the hand-me-down stuff?
We all did until like
Oh.
I was in Bantam. Was like I think when I got my first like new set of gear.
So where are you in the pecking order? Are you the baby, or are you
top
in the
dog.
middle?
Top dog.
Top dog.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So you got all the new stuff. Everybody else got hand-me-down.
I did not. I got other people's hand-me-downs.
Oh,
And then
or-
my
yeah.
brothers got
Ah.
the hand-me-downs of people's
Yeah.
hand-me-downs. Not
Right.
really,
Gotcha.
actually. They got my brother got some new shit. We had
Okay, so your dad was economic, like
we were
like
smart
my
about
father.
it. Well, because he knew we had 4 boys all playing different positions, growing up at the same time every year. You needed new everything.
You must
so-
have had like hockey equipment.
Oh, you should
all
have seen our
over the
storage room,
house.
man. It was so
Oh,
bad.
Be
Yeah,
nuts.
it was
Stick.
well,
oh,
everybody
wow.
did though, like garage sales and stuff around everybody's house. It was just
Yeah.
everybody had 12 pairs of skates out on the tables of every size for every kid, and it was ridiculous.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
you're looking
I
at
remember
them going, "Hey, those are my skates."
Yeah, somebody
Like,
stole
that's
those.
my
Well,
stuff.
Not in our end. Not in our end.
I gave those to you
Down
like 3 years
our
ago.
Our coach Collins from they steal a lot of shit over where he's from. Not my side.
Right.
Yeah,
Colin,
Colin-
are you
Colin's
talking
from
about Van Devin, eh?
yeah, he's from Saskatoon as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Running
Okay.
back to Saskatoon. All right.
All right. Tell me, or tell us, tell the folks, Matt, who was your sort of first influence? You know,
For what? I've had a lot
In
of
hockey.
bad
Yeah. Who was your first bad
For bad
influence in
stuff.
life?
For
This
bad
is the
stuff.
first time you made a really bad decision.
But
Who-
that
who's-
that wasn't your dad.
Who was that dirtbag
That
who
wasn't
lived
my
down the
dad
street
too,
from you?
hey?
How did they touch you and where?
Yeah, that didn't happen until junior.
Oh, right. We'll come to that later. Then.
Oh, I hope Graham James isn't in this story.
Yeah, no, not he's a little before my time.
I
Did
shouldn't
you
joke,
play with
but-
Carson?
That's tough to say. I had so many good coaches growing up that
Hmm.
coached really good players, and then kind of also got stuck with me on the same team,
Yeah.
kind of thing. So I kind of just carried on, behind them. But I probably are you saying like first or most?
Or most,
important?
like, I had one coach, Mr. Adams.
Yeah.
Yeah, Coach Adams. Anyways,
Well, it'd either be Coach Marshall or my buddy Dan Arndt, or my buddy Andrew, his dad Dan Arndt. He played in the show for a little bit with Hartford,
right.
like way back when.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
Who was it?
Dan Arndt.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
ARNDT or something like that. I'd never
Right.
spell his fucking name right.
Yeah.
I lived across the street from him for like 15 years. That's terrible.
So-
But no, he coached us in cities. I was actually just talking. I had to do a wedding speech for a buddy, and I was just talking about this. But we our hockey careers peaked in Bantam. We beat all these guys that ended up going on to the show and making millions of bucks, and we ended up winning like the cities that year that everybody got drafted to like the WHL. So we peaked like right then and there, and then everything was downhill from there. And then all those guys went on to $1 million careers. This is what we're doing now.
Man, we got $1 million lives.
Yeah, that's true.
Insurance policies, maybe.
Yeah,
but-
yeah.
So I just had a look at this. So this guy played in the 1975 World Junior Championships, and now he's he was a gym
right.
teacher.
Yeah, he was a school teacher. That's how. And then him and my dad like taught together and stuff. Well, then one was public, one was Catholic, but they always knew each other and stuff. And then they're actually partying at their cabin this weekend.
Beauty.
Damn, good for them. Good
Yeah,
for
I
them.
know. Yeah.
Fired up.
So, like Coach Adams, the one thing he bestowed upon me was because he caught me one time going down on a, it was a 2-on-1, and I
Oh,
was.
I thought
I got excited there for a second.
Dude.
I was wondering what. No, okay.
In the locker
You didn't
room.
catch me like that. No, right. Yeah.
I love that all three of us thought the
My
same
God,
thing, and it
man.
was not anywhere where
Get
Aaron
your
was
mind
going.
out of the gutters, man. Jesus, it is good memory. All right. I mean, he was a good coach.
Still
He had
could be a good memory.
Well, yeah, you still think it could be a
I
good
guess.
memory. It's
Still
however
could
you
be
wanna remember
excellent
it,
memory.
bud.
Oh my God. Okay, so going back to the good memory of the good coach. Anyways, so he informed me that on a 2-on-1, if you're on your offhand, don't force the puck back onto your forehand. Take it from your backhand and put it in. Because I tried to do that, put it back onto my forehand and then shoot it, and it was too late. The goalie was in position. The next time I had it, boom, it went in. It wasn't anything pretty or anything, but it went in. So what did Mr. Was it Arndt?
Aren't.
Arndt? What do you remember him most about him? Like, was there anything specific, or just he'd been with you and your
No,
buddy,
it
I
was-
guess, for a while,
Yeah, sort of that, and because we ended up winning the championship when we probably
Right.
should have been one of the first teams out of playoffs that year. It was just kind of our miracle on ice run that we randomly
Yeah.
had when we were younger, but it was more or less the fact that the systems he'd run with the team, because we didn't have the best team by any stands, but everybody on the team were best friends, and that was a big thing. Like anything we did, we had to do as a team and all that
Yeah.
shit. And
Yeah.
all of these boys were all still, real tight friends and stuff, and everybody knows each other still, and 95% of us keep in contact. So, yeah, it was more or less.
that's cool.
That was the first time it was like he really pushed like the whole team thing, and especially the systems, because the systems worked.
Right. Well, there you go. See,
Yeah.
being the fourth line house leaguer that I am, it wasn't until I came to New Zealand I was exposed to like systems and
Yeah.
like, oh, right. So the system we try and execute during a game, right? Like, oh, that's kind of a new strategy.
Play, right?
I thought it was just go and play. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Organized hockey. Oh, that's what that means.
Organized.
I get it now. Right.
Org-
Systems,
Yeah.
plays. Okay,
Yeah.
right. We have a playbook. All right. Well, that sort of leads me into my next question. Walk me through then, going from Bantam and then into a draft for the WHL. Like, talk me through the transition from minor hockey to major junior.
All my buddies were in the WHL draft. Like we were
Right.
on the outside looking in. Most of the guys on our team, it would have been a
Yeah.
shock if any of us ended up going in it. Well, couple of the boys we knew were going to go in it, but that's kind of the only reason we watched the draft. And it was actually pretty funny. One of the boys got drafted, and he didn't think he was gonna. And this was actually to the NHL, and he ended up getting drafted.
From
No, so this was after the WHL draft, but none of us, I didn't know much about it. I watched it, obviously, and then at the end of it went, fuck, I didn't get picked. That was sweet. And then he ended up a couple years later going to the show, but he didn't think he was going, and we were out partying the night before, and he got a call from I think it was one of the Sutters, so I'm not going to name drop who this was, but he got a call from one of the Sutters or whatever to say he'd been drafted. It was by Calgary, so I think it was one of the Sutters, if I remember correctly. And he ended up getting this call from Sutter in the morning saying, hey, buddy, we picked you, and blah, blah, blah. And he was like, fuck off, and hung up the phone on him. and then got the call again later, and then so we're all still at his house because we all crashed there. And he's like, boys, I just got drafted to Calgary. It was pretty cool, man. That was a
And I
good
told
draft
the
story.
That's
coach
awesome.
to fuck off.
I don't know if he said fuck off. Like that might have been exaggerated, but he was like, yeah, bullshit. Yeah. And then
Yeah, and a truck full of Sutter family members showed up at his house.
I think aren't they
Threw a
Saski,
pillowcase over his
Alberta,
head.
Viking, Alberta.
Yeah.
Viking, Alberta. Yeah.
Gross, yeah.
So how do you get registered for the draft? You just are a registered hockey player for a club?
Yeah,
then,
so
or
how it
what?
works in Canada is you do all your it's all your minor junior, and then when you get to bantam, that is your second year bantam, which is 15, I think.
15. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
15.
Yeah.
You're eligible if you're playing
Yep.
bantam hockey with a registered club in like one of the zones. You're eligible based on kind of where you are. So there's the WHL, the OHL, and the QMJHL.
Right.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
that's kind of how you can get picked out of it. And essentially, if you're playing double A at that stage, that's kind of where you are. And then the next year, you can go on to triple A, or some of the young guys that are good enough are already playing triple A, and then they'll get picked up by a dub team kind of thing. And then the year after that's their tryouts for it. So
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
Right.
but you don't have to fill out any registration or anything like that.
Right. Okay.
Maybe you do. I just wasn't one of those fucking kids. So
Right.
You're out in the back deck, just
yeah. All of them
Yeah.
said, yeah, we'll have a look at you, and I didn't have to fill shit out.
what a night! What a night that would have.
Yeah, God, that would have been
Like
cool.
some idiot called me and said I was drafted.
It-
Better brother.
yeah.
Gonna go
No,
play.
it was pretty funny.
Whatever.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then tell me, have you, through your hockey career, ever been undermined in order to gain a competitive advantage for any reason?
Jesus Christ, this is a
Yeah.
deep question. Undermined.
Well, look, I mean, you've played overseas. Obviously, you're playing here in New Zealand. You know, you've played a high level of hockey. You know, so you know it. Right, guys are
Yeah.
vying for ice time. I mean, a goalie's it's a full time job, right? It's not like, oh, I might get 3 minutes. You might, you might not see a game for 20 games. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah.
I was kind of used to that. I was just like when I got signed over in Europe, I was quite pumped to sit on the bench and open the door for the boys. I didn't even speak
Yeah.
the same language. I was collecting my paycheck, and I
Yeah, I was
played
looking at that
6
roster.
games or something.
I was looking at that roster that you're on. And you're the only one that didn't have an O and a V at the end of his name.
Yeah, there was the starting goalie was one of the Olympic. I think he was the backup or starter for the Olympic Latvian team. He was
Okay,
starting
yeah.
for our team, and then there was one other Ukrainian guy that played in the dub, but those were the only 2 guys that spoke any English on the
Did
team at all.
There.
Yeah, I hung out with them, but like it was ridiculous, man. Like it was all
That's
day,
hard.
every day. It was cool. Like I learned quite a bit of the language pretty quick, and then
Yeah.
5 minutes after I
imagine
left
what
the
language.
country. Oh yeah, they taught me some shit. Oh my
Oh,
god, it was.
You
bad.
always
Like,
start with the shit, right?
Yeah, some of the stuff I'd say to people in public, it was like they were gonna slap me. I couldn't believe it. The guys would just be pissed.
They're laughing behind the
yeah,
around
just
the
laughing
corner.
their ass, and I was just like, oh my god, I'm gonna get shot. It was
What's
so
this
bad.
Canadian guy?
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
nuts, man. But yeah, so no, it was pretty cool. But we didn't have a lot of downtime. It was like a full-time job. Like if our days off, you're at the rink all day. You're doing your morning training. We'd eat breakfast. We'd eat lunch. We'd eat dinner, all at the rink as the team. You'd have to get back to the rink every day for all these trainings. So you'd essentially just stay there all day and pack a bag for the day. It was nuts.
So it was like summer camp.
And what city
Yeah,
is
all
this that you're in?
Well, when I flew over there originally, went to Latvia, was our training camp, and then we had like inter-divisional games with it was a tournament in Belarus, so we flew there, and then we were playing a bunch of teams from like Eastern Europe in this tournament.
Okay, wait a minute.
Yeah, it was fun.
So tell me about flying to Belarus from where were
No,
you?
we trained. We trained.
Oh,
from
fuck, even better.
Yeah, it was great.
Holy shit!
It was pretty
Did
funny.
you become the machine
man.
on the train ride?
No, I did. There's one good story of one of our train rides. I ended up getting a rash on the side of my face, but I was one of the only guys that had a room with some random person that wasn't from our team. It was a punishment. We ended up we won this game. Our coach was crazy. We won this
We won this
game.
game. I was punished.
Yeah, we won this game, kicked the shit out of these guys. He was livid because it wasn't what it was supposed to be. So instead of flying, we had a game on the other side of Kazakhstan. So he essentially said, fuck you guys. We're training across, and the train ride's like 13 hours or some shit. And like a day stop somewhere, and we had like 3 days, so we were going to fly there, have our, get set up, get ready for the games. We took this train there, got there like 5 hours before the game. Like, we were just shattered and we were expected to win. But nevertheless, on this train ride, I ended up being one of the only guys that got stuck in a room with people that weren't
Some random.
yeah, like people weren't with the fucking team, and it was this old like Mongolian couple because we were like on the Mongolian border. It was fucked, and I woke up with this rash on my face, and then
How do you get punished for opening the door?
Oh, it was brutal. Oh, it was just, I have no idea. It would have been like, put the fucking Canadian kid in with these people. He'll shit himself because I couldn't talk to them.
Get on your face.
Oh,
Yeah, but then they were all laughing because this lady, I probably should get into that. They're laughing, but this chick could barely walk the next morning, and then so all these rumors started going. They were all talking shit about it, and it was just I got this rash on my face, and I don't think I ever lived that down. So.
Okay, this is what I got out of this story. I'm glad I asked, but so at one point in Kazakhstan, you took a train ride as a result of winning a game.
Yeah,
and got
he was
stuck
crazy, our coach. Crazy.
with two rando Mongolian, like a couple, and
older couple. Yeah,
the woman of this couple, her legs were so weak she couldn't walk.
Oh,
After one night with Canaday,
Yeah,
she
after
couldn't
one
walk
night,
right.
yeah.
80-year-old
But
woman.
you somehow got a rash on your face.
I woke up with this rash on my face, and the team, the couple
You know what
boys,
that
like
is.
explaining what they
Wow.
were like saying.
That is legendary.
And it was just like, for fuck's
Oh,
sake.
wow.
Of course, and it was
You know-
bad. It took like 2 weeks to go away. Even my coaches were chirping me and shit, and I couldn't even say anything back. But swear words, and he loses it if you swear at him. So I could never even talk to him. It was bad.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was good, man.
That's so awesome.
But you must have been kind of
Dynamite.
scared about that. I mean, I would have been a little bit worried.
Worried?
Did you ever find out what it was?
No, it just went
No.
away.
Oh, man, the stuff they were giving me there, like if I ever had the sniffles or anything, you'd show up and they'd give you a needle in the ass, and because we have a team doctor, and he'd just be like,
Was it a
"Ugh,"
big
and
thick
just, like,
needle or
A
what?
shot
Yeah.
of heroin, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had no
Condones.
idea. Anytime I was hurt, another shot in the ass, like I probably couldn't go in the Olympics now.
No, no, ever.
With this body, yeah,
Ever.
it was weird. It was a
You're poisoned.
really cool experience, but yeah, it was pretty. There's some good stories from it, that's for sure.
All right. Well, we're not going to top that one. I'm going to end on tell the viewers your favorite NHL team and favorite NHL player.
Oh,
Go.
Easy, Carey Price,
Easy.
Habs. Thanks
Carey
for coming
Price,
out.
Habs.
I'll
Bam,
fight
done.
anybody that wants.
So were you worried
Why
he was
then?
Hanger, are
gonna,
you
were
ready
you
to
worried he
fight?
was going to end up on the
No, I,
Kraken?
I like her. I like him.
Oh, a little bit, but at the same time, I'm like, I think we've definitely used as much of him as we can use. Like, we've got some growth. Look, we've got a shot this year again. You always fucking say that, but like, that was kind of a miracle run.
So
if
you're
we lost
saying
that
there's a
10 and a half,
chance.
I could have seen us spending that 10 and a half somewhere
It
else.
wasn't a
but
miracle run, man. They fucking played amazing.
They
when
did.
they needed to, up
Yeah.
until the cup.
Oh,
And then
Tampa was another beast. Number one
They just,
bullshit.
man, they were all fucking beasts. They took down
They were
all
so
the
good.
Eastern beasts, man. It was incredible.
It was
man.
the worst final to watch too. Like, I was
too
3 years old when we won. When we did something like this last. Like, don't remember it. And then you get to the final. I'm all amped up about this. Like, take all this time off. And
They
it's just,
took
we got our
Vegas
asses
down.
kicked. We
It
got
was
our ass-
crazy
oh,
the way
yeah.
they took Vegas down.
It was
Like
good.
Vegas was nuts insane in the
Yeah.
previous round. Like
Yeah,
the
no,
Blue,
no.
or was it the Blues? No, what was the series?
No, but in many
Colorado,
ways, like
Vegas.
Yeah.
the Canadians are kind of like Vegas.
Yeah.
So they're punching well above their weight.
Yeah.
It's just they had a better goalie, and they were just
Yeah.
destined to go to the finals, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was hoping we could win for Weber this year because he's probably done. Which
Well,
it's
and
kinda
I
nice,
don't.
but-
Um,
Fuck you.
Sorry.
The Leafs fan.
That's fair.
You've
I
got a
love-
cup in your lifetime. I don't.
I love the only thing I love more than the Habs winning. Like honestly, I was like, if the Leafs lose in the first round again, I don't care if we get swept by Winnipeg. That was what I told everybody.
Yeah, I know.
It
I know.
fucking makes
I
me
know.
so happy. It's
I
so
know.
good. And you guys are sticking with the formula because it works. So
I
good.
hate
love
them
it.
all of them. Hate them all.
love So good.
I want to bring a 63-year-old Doug Gilmour, Dave Andershock, all those fellas back.
Yeah.
Fuck those guys.
It's so bad. I love it. And you're
All
going
of them.
right back to it
Yeah,
this year.
I know.
Even
They can
worse
suck
than,
it.
oh, I can't wait.
I bought a house
Okay.
in Seattle just because of that, bud.
Really?
Yeah,
All right, that's,
crackhead.
and that's gonna bring the first to an end. All right, good period there, Summer. Made him squirm a little bit. We got a hell of a story out of
I
there.
love that. I love the Mongolians.
I cannot wait to start
Fucking
chirping you
grease
all
them on
summer
the
about
train
That was
strawberry
We're gonna
face.
be hard over there.
from now on.
Strawberry face.
There's some old Mongolian woman sat on his face while he was sleeping.
Yeah.
That's all I can see in my
I
head.
remember was
Well, we were all excited because Summer was talking about going down, and now we know that
Yeah.
Canaday was the one who did it in the dark tunnel on a train with an 80-year-old. Oh, right on. She couldn't walk right for a whole day afterwards. That's
Just
wonderful.
buckled.
All right. Well, hey, as you know, you're on the show because we all met you here in New Zealand.
Yeah.
So we're gonna clip along here into the second, and we're gonna talk about New Zealand a little bit. So, when you first came over, how did that end up that you ended up here?
That's actually a good question. I don't remember. Me and one of my buddies. Actually, that's what it was. I got an email from somebody asking if I wanted to come over and have a look at it. I forget who it was. And I ended up emailing around, finding out that you can play hockey in the Southern Hemisphere, obviously at a different time of the year. And I ended up sending my email, and I think I ended up sending it to somebody at the NZIHL. And the first one to email me back was a guy from the Red Devils. I was just like, "Fuck, get over here! You know, we'll help you get a job. We'll get you a place to stay for free and all that kind of stuff." So I hopped on a plane and headed over to Christchurch. But like 2 weeks before I left, the earthquake hit. Like that's when I came over. Was that year?
Okay.
And then so I had to decide if I was still coming. And yeah.
Had you traveled for hockey before, like prior to coming to New Zealand?
Yeah.
Other than the train?
Yeah, that was later. I was
later,
still
yeah.
building up to that.
Building up to the
pinnacle,
train.
you know. Yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah. No. Sorry. I ended up coming over to Christchurch, and then that was after like a few years.
Were you
after that,
nervous?
so
Like I went
a little
to,
bit.
I think I was 19. I went to go play hockey in Australia, and I was fucking nervous, man.
It was
not
weird.
knowing what to
Do you
expect.
go over there by yourself too?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a weird feeling, but kind of cool. Like I wanted to see if I could do it because I was like, what worst thing that happens? I'll fly home. I don't. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So you said you started with the Red Devils.
Yeah.
You started with the Red Devils, but one thing right now you're playing for the Swarm,
Yeah.
but a lot of people don't realize that you've actually played for 3 of the 5 teams in the league.
Oh yeah, I'm an absolute suitcase.
So, how were like all 3 teams that you played on? Like, how was each one
Who was
different?
the best one? Who was the worst one? No, go with the best
And the worst.
and the worst. All right, give us the good.
Well, this is wow.
awkward.
Answer my question first, because this is my opinion.
We made
Bold
the final
names.
with every team so far except
yeah.
the Swarm. We're
Gotcha.
You're
working
on it.
We're working on it right now,
You're
but
working on
no
it.
dubs. Always second place. I'm very good at not winning. Well, actually, Aaron, you know about that in BHL too. I'll get you to the dance, but I ain't fucking getting you over the line. Like, not a chance.
Well, we failed to.
Yeah.
We failed.
Yeah, no. Well, so the worst one, I'd probably say, was the Devils team I played with the first year. But we were a good team. Like we went to the finals. We had some decent we had a lot of the Kiwi boys that are still around, still playing on the team. Then we had some good imports. That's when I met Guillaume, who I ended up going to play with in Dunedin. I met Guillaume there, and yeah, we had a good little team.
Yeah.
And then the best team.
Did you enjoy the rink? Like, what do you think of the rink and the facilities?
Awful.
Awful,
Gritty.
right?
Awful.
Yeah.
It is
The
so
gritty rink.
bad.
Gritty.
It's impossible. We had that one game there this year. As soon as the puck goes above the boards, if it's anywhere above the boards, it's gone. They painted
It's gone.
the rink. They painted black. So as soon as it goes above the white boards, it's ridiculous. How the fuck are you supposed to?
It's like playing outside.
That's what it was
Yeah.
like at the ODR. Yeah.
It was ridiculous. At least the ODR, like, you're using a yellow tennis ball some of the time. Like, that helped. But
Yeah.
So then, how was the experience in Dunedin then afterwards?
I loved it.
So if we get it right too, you started in Canterbury, then you went overseas to Kazakhstan,
Yeah.
and then came back and played Dunedin afterwards.
I went. Oh shit! I went back. Yeah, sorry. So then I went back home for a year, and then I ended up coming to Dunedin and played 2 seasons in Dunedin, and then went
Gotcha.
back home for another year, and then I've been back here for like 6 years now.
So how was that experience with the Thunder?
Yeah, it was fun, man. It was a lot of fun.
You won goalie of the year in 2013, I think, with the Thunder.
Yeah,
Isn't
I think
that
so,
right?
yeah.
What was how did you feel the caliber of hockey was when you came down here?
When I came back and was playing in Dunedin, you could tell it had, just in the 3 years I had been gone, it had gotten a lot better. Like, a lot of the young kids that you could tell had a lot of potential had grown that much more. But then the caliber of the imports that were still coming over, there seemed to be getting better and better, and it kind of, reached. Well, I hadn't been, outside of this year, the last 5 years, I haven't really got to watch much of it. But by the time I had come back, it was quite a bit better. Yeah.
And obviously now you're with the Swarm, and
Yep.
you're in a whole new situation. Obviously, life has taken you out of Dunedin and brought you up to Auckland. So we're lucky enough to have you up here. And then this year you suited up with the Swarm. So you guys have really kind of turned around. I love the 2 Auckland teams now because there's so much hockey house inside both of those teams
sure,
now,
yeah.
which is kind of fun. But how's your experience been this year with the
good,
Swarm?
man. Good. Too bad that this COVID hit. Like, deep down inside, everybody knows one of the reasons you play in the NZIHL is for your Queenstown trip, and so I was ready to get.
Oh yeah, yours was 1 week away.
Yeah, well, it was last weekend. We were supposed to be down there. I was supposed to get spanked for like 6 or 7 goals in one game, and then I'd have 5 nights of drinking. And that was fun. So,
Yeah, it's something else, eh? That team's a wagon right now, absolutely.
yeah.
But you've been getting to split the net with Grace. So
it's been great.
how's that been?
Oh, this is the most dynamic duo this league's ever seen, man. It's fucking legit. I love it. It's fun.
Yeah, you guys are 1 and 2, man. You guys are 1 and 2 right now in save percentage, which is pretty cool to see.
Yeah, that's
And then along the way, you've spent some time on the road, and I know that when you guys go to training, you always have another young kid that's just about to leave to go on the road in bar.
Yeah.
So what's it been like seeing him, and what can you say about that kid?
It's cool, man. Like, he's shooting overseas here right away, actually, and I think he's going over to the States. He said, but he's
Maine.
Yeah, he's heading over to Maine.
Yeah, well, it's cool, man. You see a lot of good young talent coming up through the ranks now. Like, we got Joel skating with us as well, who's really good, and got the boys are just working on it and stuff. They're young kids still, but they'll be the ones taking over the Swarm and the Admirals here in no time. With me and guys like Chubba and stuff getting a little bit older, a bit slower every year. There's going to be room for somebody to take those spots.
Oh, there'll always be room for you on the Pine, though, eh?
Yeah, that's it. That's where I live, man. I love it. I'm born for that.
So, well, you kind of touched on it there with COVID hitting there. So, it looks like you guys are rescheduled now at the end of September, and because the season ended the way that it's now officially over.
Oh, it is now, eh?
Oh,
You
officially
guys have the home The home
And
game.
you've got home ice.
You guys home ice advantage.
I don't know
I
if
don't
that's
think we
necessarily
do.
a good thing. Shit.
I would think
between,
that you do.
the four of us, and hopefully nobody's watching, I would way rather play in their rink.
Well, you have a better
It's a
winning
smaller-
percentage
yeah, it's
in Avondale.
It's a smaller rink. It's where we seem to be better on the smaller ice.
It's the barn you're used to playing in too all summer long. Eh?
Yeah,
It's
that's
less.
right.
Yeah, that's true too, and it's less back checking for the boys when they dice up those 3-on-0s and 2-on-0s for us every game.
Whoops.
Yeah.
So when we're looking at the NZIHL, what's your favorite team to play against?
Oh, I gotta say either the Admirals or the Thunder. They're tight games every time we play either of those teams, and they're fun. They're, the fans get into it and everything as well. They're fun games to be a part of. Like that last weekend of Thunder games up here, that was just fun.
Those
to be
were
a part
two
of.
exciting games.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
that was
Back
pretty
and
cool,
forth.
man.
And what's your favorite NZIHL barn to play in?
Oh well, what's criteria here? Overall,
Just your favorite barn to play in,
The
whether
best
you,
ice is Dunedin for sure.
yeah.
Oh, right.
Best barn, I liked when I played with Christchurch. I liked Queenstown when they still had the mesh all around, no glass.
Gotcha.
It was gross. It was disgusting. Like they even behind the net, they'd take a slap shot, and if it was above the top of the boards, it'd hit the mesh and bounce out in front, and it was in play. It was like one rule they had over here. It was so messed up.
When I played
love
there, the visiting team changed in a container out the back.
yeah.
Was it? Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
They tried a lot of different places to change, but there was the container way out back in
Yeah.
the middle of winter, and then they just have a really skinny rubber walkway
That's right.
through the Zamboni door.
Yeah.
It was pretty.
They should have changed the lounge with
It's
the
still
fire.
better than Christchurch change rooms. Oh yeah,
That'd be
all right.
It's
That'd be
beauty.
classy. Yeah.
This is why.
I love that barn. It's such a homey feel.
That's right. In a job.
Yeah, I think that's a good.
Shorts,
Just walking around.
like,
Some
some socks.
I love it.
nachos.
The oldest
So-
Jack in the world.
So in your five seasons with the NZIHL,
That's it.
best memory that stands out the most.
Oh, best memory. Well, there's so many second place victories to pick
I
from.
know, eh?
Yeah, shit, I don't know.
How about winning the goaltender of the year? That would have been
No,
a pretty good accomplishment.
yeah, that was pretty cool. But it's got to be something else. I reckon it was the weekend when I played for Dunedin. It was the weekend we were up here in Auckland, and it was all the imports. We got absolutely just fed by I'm pretty sure it was the Swarm. When I was playing for the Thunder, we were up here, and we got just fed by the Swarm. And our coach at the time was like, nobody's leaving, like, not a fucking chance. You guys played terrible. Like, you're in your rooms by whatever 9:30, lights out, kind of thing. And imports
Canada, you're
yeah.
taking a train back to Dunedin.
Yeah, not happening.
on the train.
You got your own room with her. Oh, it was so bad.
Meet Ling Ling. And
No,
With a
we ended
couple of
up-
Mongolians.
We ended up saying, like,
Yeah.
we had a couple guys, like a guy named Lionel. He's like a
He's Barbie.
34 with his kids over here, and he's like, I'm a grown ass man. He's like, this might be the only time I'm ever in this city. He's like, I'm fucking going out. Like, there's not a chance. And we're like,
That's
yeah,
awesome.
okay, pocket. So we went down to the viaduct, and we didn't realize quite at that time that there was really no time for these bars to shut down. So we said we'll go out till one of the bars shut down and kick us out, and then we'll go back. Well, the bars didn't shut down until our coach was waking up the next morning, and we got in the elevator, and we were getting off the elevator as he was getting in it in the morning at like 6 a.m.
Oh no.
Oh,
Yeah, it was so bad. And, yeah, and we ended up he ran us and stuff, and we had to do all this shit before the game that day, and we ended up beating the Swarm and the 5 imports. I think that every one of them got a point, and I had like a 960 save percent average. Like, we just had the best game ever. It completely shut him up, and then we got to party again that night, and he was pretty pumped. So it was pretty cool.
Sweet. You touched on imports a little bit there. So you're classified as an import
Yes,
for the
sir.
Swarm this year, right?
Yeah.
So I'm curious about this because I heard that you're worth 2 players or something like that.
Obviously,
Yeah.
How does it work?
It is so
Obvious.
it is actually it's So Andy Hay had something to do with, they made these rules a while ago or something like this, and this was before obviously all this COVID stuff had happened. So I don't
Yeah.
think the rules got updated, but an import goalie in the league would count as 2 import spots. It was like a new rule they put in, and then they had the COVID
What?
year where it was like just, Admirals and Swarm played, and then the Southern teams played a little tournament kind of thing. And then they hadn't changed the rules again, and then I'm playing this year on his team as well. And then so anytime I play, we can only dress 2 other imports instead of dressing 4 skater imports. You get
Gotcha.
you get 1 goalie and 2 skaters then.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
So
wanted
because
to
we're the only
understand
team
that.
with it, so
All right, so forget it. My period's almost done. We're gonna let's drop some dust here on your boys here. I want to jump right inside the swarm room. I know most of the guys in that room, so I want to know a little bit of who's this, who's that,
oh yeah.
and so a little quick lightning round for
Really?
you before we
Really?
go.
Sorry, I got to take a shift.
Okay,
All
take a
right.
shift. But did he say shit or shift?
I heard shit. He's going for a shit.
It's one of 2. Okay, so your best mate in the room.
Oh, it's got to be both Remy and Mattis.
Remy and Mattis. All right.
Yeah,
who's
gotta go
who's the best dressed?
Kozak, easily.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Worst dressed.
I can see that.
Oh, there's.
Yeah, we're throwing shade, bud. Let's go.
Oh, Vortnov. I'm fucked. Oh yeah, Robin.
Yeah. Big V. The flying
You know,
V.
I was there to announce your game, and he came in with a filthy bow tie, and so I'm with you on that one.
Yeah,
The bow ties are never good unless you're
pros and
forced to wear
cons.
them.
Yeah, pros and cons.
Yeah, there's pros and cons to that one. And no matter what it is, bow tie or not, the hair ain't helping him out either.
There's
Speaking
some
of
bad haircuts.
speaking of hair, the worst hair on the team, the worst salad.
You gotta know who I'm going with this. I chirp him every day for it too. I
Woohoo!
guess.
Oh, I'm gonna throw.
Hoppy.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hoppy. Easily. Yeah.
damn.
I'm
Thing is, though, he probably spends the most time on it too.
Yeah. Like, don't get me wrong, it works, but I fucking hate it.
Who's
All right,
the
that.
dirtiest stash?
Oh,
Ooh. I don't. To be honest, I'm probably the only one that's been rocking a muzzy.
all right.
All right,
So
yeah,
who's got the best hair on the team?
Ooh, that's a good question. Mattis.
All right. Who's the DJ in the room?
Vortnov.
Yeah.
Vortnov.
Yeah,
It's the
Vortnov.
Russian.
I'm picturing like Britney Spears.
No,
it
it's-
is
it's
like
deep
the
step all day, right?
underground- Yeah, it
David
is the
Hasselhoff.
same 4 beats and 0 lyrics, and it's just like it's like a German sex dungeon.
Yeah.
I put my head.
You heard it here,
and I
folks.
listened, yeah.
Vortnov is operating a virgin sex dungeon in the swarm dressing
Oh,
room.
it is. It is.
He must be from the Ukraine or someplace.
The first time you heard "Flight of the Bumblebee," who was the first guy on the team to say he hated it?
I think everybody at once said it too. I think it might have actually been Andy. It was just like, yeah. It was pretty, I loved all their faces because deep down inside, I knew that I may have suggested something along those lines.
I remember sitting outside with you before we first did it, and I played it for you, and you're like, "I fucking love it. I fucking love it."
Yeah, but as soon as the boys threw shade at it, I was like, "Oh, gross! It's shit." Eh? Something will suck.
Okay, so who's the most intense guy on the team?
Oh, Kozak.
Kozak.
Really?
Without a doubt.
So-
Is his girlfriend in the dressing room taking pictures of him putting his equipment on?
Hey, she's the level-headed one in that relationship.
Okay, who,
Yeah.
Dude, hold on. He used to come out in BHL and he'd go out early, and she'd be out there taking pictures of him doing stops and starts.
Well, at least one of our fucking wives like watching us play. Like,
That's
I
true,
bet
right?
you my
Yeah.
wife couldn't even
Good
pick
for
out
him.
which one.
Well,
I
again, it's careful what you wish for, right? Like, do you really want her hanging around the rink, taking pictures of you taping your taking your stick? Or whatever?
so which guy on the team has the weirdest like game day quirk or quirks?
Man, I'm throwing the same guys under the bus nonstop here. Well,
It's a big bus.
I gotta say, Vortnov, that guy drinks enough caffeine to kill somebody like multiple times, and he's just like
Like
freaking
coffees or
nicking
V's or
up-
what's he doing?
coffees, like hardcore
Crushing
thick
coffees.
and like
Intermission, he's crushing
Yeah.
double.
fucking
Barrels of
workout. It was just like, oh my god. Yeah, I couldn't do it. My heart would explode. I'm like listening to the calmest music ever, trying just like stay chill. And he's just like,
And he's Saturday night,
Yeah.
Mardi Gras.
he's
Just
ready. He comes
crushing
out
it.
flying for warm ups. I'll tell you that much.
Worst guy to face in practice or training.
Slap shot to the face.
Yeah. So
Yeah. Who's the
percent of the guys? No,
Sorry.
worst one.
Sorry.
No, there was one.
Yeah,
Oh, he's
sorry.
gone now.
Sorry.
Dalen, one of our old imports.
Oh,
That guy
yeah.
didn't, yeah,
No
Where's he
control.
gone? Where
He's
did he
ba-
go?
he's back in Vegas.
Yeah, he headed back to Vegas.
Did
Yeah,
he?
but he didn't know how to shoot under the crossbar, so every shot, and he had a rocket, but every
did.
shot was the middle of the net, like 2 feet above it. Like I was getting him skimmed off the head every time.
You stand up,
It
buddy.
was ridiculous.
So
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
so they
stand
got
up.
the Mako boys that train with you guys. So who's
Yeah.
the young buck with the highest ceiling?
We got quite a few of the young boys that are with us have got a ceiling on them, but I gotta say it'd be Mr. Muscles himself, Luke.
Luke
Oh,
Muscles.
yeah.
Yeah, Mr.
Simon?
Muscles.
Luke Muscles.
Yeah.
Lukey Muscles. So who's the most talented guy in the Swarm dressing room beside yourself?
Yeah, obvious.
I knew your
Kozak.
answer would say me. So I said beside yourself.
Kozak's wife.
Yeah, no, she's good. She's good. The most impressive. Well, I'll give you a few here. So the most. I got to give Vortnov some love here too, because the kid can dance, and so can Kozak.
He can.
Yeah.
You know,
definitely.
Atwell's got an absolute rocket on him. We've got
Yeah.
some good stay-at-home Ds, some Ds that don't understand what that means at all. Also,
There's always a
yeah,
They just run around
Some
the
of
yard,
them,
eh?
Yeah, some of them
It's just
really
when you
like to
start
try and
off
get
the
a breakaway.
face-off.
Yeah, exactly.
It's only
Yeah.
guidelines.
I'd say the best all around. I'd probably say Atwell. He can skate, he can hit, he can shoot. When he does shoot, sometimes he loses it and picks it up and then scores after.
I used to love Atwell because
He's good, man.
when he played the BHL, he'd come down and deke on me, and I would never go down.
Yeah.
And then he'd end up in the corner, and he'd just start swearing at me. I'm like, well, do
Oh yeah,
something.
he's got some. He's got.
He gets so
some shade
pissed.
behind those eyes too. He
I'll
gets
be honest, Loki, I thought he might have been one of the most intense guys.
No,
he's
he's pretty chill. But as soon
He's
as,
a great
soon as he
guy to
gets
chirp.
the first spear or anything in
Yeah.
a game,
He's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
So he's a
I-
dirtbag.
no, like when someone
In a good
gets
way.
him, he wants
In a
to kill
good way.
somebody, and he doesn't forget. He has got
Nothing
a
wrong.
memory on him.
So he's
I gotta
Gordie
give him
Howe.
props
Yeah,
though, 'cause
yeah.
He's
sort
Gordie
of
Howe.
toned it down a little bit for BHL, anyways. You know,
Yeah.
he's not
Am I-
as intense.
He'll
as
get in
intense,
Game
though,
3 of
but he's-
2025.
My last one of the Swarm dressing room lightning round. Who's the quiet beauty? The quiet beauty that you would never think. He's the quiet guy. He's not the big, loud, boisterous dude, but he's a beauty, and he's pretty funny, dude.
Private Beautician studio.
Sam.
Well, actually, that's an easy one. I'd actually say it'd probably be Grace. Absolute beauty.
Oh,
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fits in with the boys like an absolute champ. Yeah,
Yeah.
Nice.
yeah.
All right, sweet. So I only got 2 more questions for you here. You've been around now in the hockey house for 2 years. I did write down a couple of your stats. Not too bad, bud. 41 games played.
In the BHL already.
41 games, including the playoffs.
Yeah.
And you're 24-13.
Hey, that's above 500.
24-13,
Well above. Well above.
but astoundingly, one of only 3 goalies in BHL history to be sub 3 GAA
Hey, after how many games?
ever.
Oh,
In the
shit.
history of that's Langer.
Ever.
Langer's played 1. I think he's 11.0.
In ever.
But yeah, so how has your experience been in the hockey house? What are you looking forward to this year? Yeah.
Yeah, I love it, man. It's fun. But granted, I was on an absolute beauty of a team. Like everybody came to drink. Nobody really took it too seriously. Some of the times, a couple of the boys did. They know who they are, but like
A couple.
yeah, I think everybody knows who the
Nice.
ones that took it a bit far sometimes. But it was fun, man. Like every game, a couple cases of Dobros after the games. Even they fit. Some of those games started at like what 10:30.
Shout out to Double Brown.
Ridiculous. Oh yeah.
Shout out.
Trademark.
Hardcore.
Powered by
It is.
Dobro.
It's the license beer. It's the license
funny
beer of DHL.
Funny enough, when Les Pilons won the cup, they actually didn't have a sponsor. So in the sponsorship slot on the cup, it actually says "powered by Dobros."
Yeah.
So quick story. So we had a guy one year because everyone obviously is on beers,
Yeah.
and he's this guy from Chicago, and he showed up with a cooler. He had ice and lemons and like a big bottle of whiskey. How does that work in the parking lot? It worked, but think about how that works.
It's logistically a little bit.
I think I know who you're talking about, and he had the rest of the bar set up in his
He
truck.
had his Nissan car like flown in from the States.
Yeah, he had a car flown in from the U.S. anyways, but on his day for drinks, we go out to the parking lot, and he flip
got
open the back of the
plastic
trunk,
cups.
and he had all plastic cups, a big bowl of ice, and like all the mixers, all the
lemons.
house drinks and everything, and he was just straight pouring you drinks out of the back of the car.
Make it difficult. Why don't
Unbelievable.
Well, whoever
Wow.
picks me on their team this year should pick that guy too. 'Cause
Yeah,
Shout out
exactly.
to Alex.
Well, you
Yeah.
need to get into Vortnov's ear and say, "Listen, dude, get some vodka."
I hate vodka. I can't do it unless it's in a Caesar now.
Yeah.
Oh, you probably
Get
have
some
you guys-
Clamato.
Yeah, there you go. We have some here.
You can go to Martha's
Attaboy.
backyard in Mount Wellington, Auckland. Get some Clamato.
My wife.
So what are you expecting for this year with the reset?
Love them.
I'm pumped about this. Actually, it'll be pretty cool. Hopefully, get a few of the old boys on the team again. But it'll be cool just get a new crop of guys because it stays
Right.
the same for like 5 years or something, doesn't it?
So every 4 years we push the reset button.
Well, to be honest, Canaday, it only lasts as long as the chopped cheese is not winning.
As
So,
soon as they get good.
When they start to get bad, then the reset happens.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
And then
that's how it works.
I
can't. Hey, I'm not even
Somerville.
involved this year, man. I'm just a free agent, just like Somerville, man. Hands off the prize. We're not doing nothing. Okay, so here I got two last questions here for you about
said
that.
like 8 times.
Jerry Bettman.
I know.
Okay,
I know. I keep waiting.
so where are you going in the draft?
I did not have sexual
Where am I
relations
going in
with
the
that
draft?
woman.
What pick you gonna be?
Well, I've had some offers from a couple teams so far. They're still weighing up. I'm not just going to sign with anybody. I'm going to sign.
You know who
That's
picks? You know the order?
Yeah, I think I know where I'm going. I think I know where I'm going.
So what number?
I can't say
round?
that.
Well, it doesn't matter. We're all
Give us
gonna
a
find
round.
out on the day.
Is that like a
I'll probably
draft,
be like
faux pas? See, I
Fourth
didn't know
round.
that. Fourth round.
Fourth round.
Fourth
Fourth round.
You think you can go fourth round?
No.
You
Well,
go-
maybe. I don't know. Maybe
you're going
they don't
top
want
four.
goalies that show up 50% of the time this year. I fucking know.
You're going
go
top
number-
four.
Yeah,
I'm
Yeah,
calling.
I'm
you're going
saying
second.
2.
Yeah.
I'm saying 2. Is where I'm
Yeah,
going.
you're going to the
I
Dragons.
don't-
That's
I
what
don't
I'm saying
wanna- I
too.
don't want to go number 1. That's exhausting. That just comes with a whole nother level of.
As long as it's not
exhaustion.
George
Fleury.
Dallas again.
I think it's going to be Chaba than you. That's my own
I'd
personal
probably say that
thought.
because it's an Admiral Swarm
Yeah,
captain, isn't it?
yeah. You got Krager in the front office for the Moose. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you got Ats in the second
Moose,
spot.
Those guys have terrible jerseys, anyways. I don't look good in fucking orange. I don't want.
Okay, so who's going first out of me and who's going first out of me and Summer?
Aaron lives closer to me. Summer.
Nice.
Easier for him to come.
He's a solid player. He's a great.
I'd pick him too.
Hell of a job you've been. Hell of a sport. Dropping some shade on some of the boys. I love it. That's the end of the second period. We're going to move on to the third. And we're going to hand it over to Langer at this moment. And he's going to tell us why Canaday, he's a pretty good guy, but he's going to be better in the third period.
Oh.
I got some questions, so I'm going to start. So who do you model your style off of? Who are you? Because you're always somebody when you're a goalie, right?
Yeah, that's true. Well, early on, I would have liked to think I was Carey Price, but as I'm getting older, a lot of people are comparing me to Hashik, but not like good.
Yes,
There's a lot
that's
of-
fine with
there's
me, man.
A lot of pad stacks and stuff
Yes.
happening now. I'm out
Yes.
of position a lot more often. It's
Make goaltending
a
great again,
backer.
buddy.
Exactly.
Oh, man.
I'm digging it.
Yeah, that's how you got to do it.
Yeah.
Make it work. Like I always say, if they score on you, make it look good.
Well,
That's right.
that was my whole career. I just made
Yeah,
sure,
me
like,
too.
once I could get new equipment, I just got nice looking stuff, and then
Yeah.
teams would pick me up assuming I was good, and
That's
it's
right.
on them.
Boom.
90% of being a goalie, buddy.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so I'm going to go back to the old school here because you've grown up in Saskatchewan.
Yeah,
So junior hockey, so you got the Blades, right?
yeah.
You got Swift Current Broncos. They're out there. So where did you go to junior hockey games growing up?
Yeah, we went. Well, we went to lots of junior A, but then we went and watched. Like a bunch of my buddies played for. A couple of them played for the Blades. Some of them played for. Oh God, where were they? One of them was out in Everett. One of them went to Regina. So we'd always go watch those games.
Would they
and
play
stuff, but
against
then-
each other?
Yeah,
Yeah.
those were the big ones.
Oh,
One
yeah,
was
that's
in
a big
PA,
get
So
to
when
Lot
when
of-
PA would play Saskatoon, it was fucking
So who are some of the great players you remember growing up playing junior hockey?
like around my age.
No, just in general, like
just
'cause,
watching.
you know,
My favorite player was Wasey Rabbit.
Wasey Rabbit.
Yeah, he had
Yes.
white skates when he played for the Blades and shit.
Yeah,
and he
I remember
was just-
him.
I loved
Such
him
an
when he was
epic
around.
name.
He
Yeah,
was on the Terry Ryan podcast. He's friends with him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
Wasey
remember,
Rabbit.
I remember seeing him with he was with the Blades. Who else? We had
Is it like
we had
an
Mike
Elmer
Green
Fudd
there.
thing?
No, it's a native thing.
Yeah,
You
don't be
racist.
racist. You
Jesus
skinhead.
Christ.
Oh, sorry.
privileged white guy.
What? I thought it was Elmer Fudd.
He was crazy too, man. I loved him. He was good.
I'm hunting rabbits.
And then we had Mike Green was captain of the Blades for a while. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Mike Green.
Yeah, defenseman.
Yep.
We're not related.
Yeah, guys look the exact same.
Yeah, right.
Just different talent levels.
Yeah.
So you're growing up in Saskatchewan.
Saskatchewan.
Well, it's just great. Like I love Canada. So what do you do? What did you do for fun growing up? Like it's a flat place.
Yeah.
Like what are you doing when your parents
Play-
aren't looking? Like where are you going?
Catch.
You learn to drink at a
What
pretty
kind of
young
mischief-
age back home.
yeah, so you-
there's not a
you-
lot to do.
Right.
Yeah,
So
like,
That's
when
it. That's the
bush
answer.
parties?
No,
Tell me a
summer's
bit of bush
amazing.
party.
Like
no
summer,
bush in
everybody's. Oh,
Saskatchewan,
there's
is there?
tons of bush. 90.
Is there?
That's
There's
what
trees
bush.
out there. Okay,
You gotta
there's
have
trees in
bush
Saskatchewan.
Yeah.
Yeah, bush parties all the time, right?
Oh,
Big
tons of bush
bonfires,
parties, yeah.
bush fires,
Right.
like, yeah.
Park parties. Those are the
Yeah.
good ones. But like
Park
when we
parties.
were young, like everybody's got cabins and stuff. There's lakes everywhere in Saskatchewan, so everybody's
Right.
got a cabin somewhere, and you go to the lake in the summer, which is like 6 or 7
Just
days
so you
long,
know,
and
people in
it's
Saskatchewan
just-
call it a cabin.
Right. Not a
Didn't know
cottage.
that.
No.
Yeah.
not at all.
It's a cottage in Ontario, but
Going to the
I know
cabin.
what he's talking about.
The cabin's
It's a
like
cabin.
a
Yeah, it's a
rustic
cabin.
version of a cottage,
Yeah,
you know?
it's a
Cottage
cottage.
a little more
Except
luxurious.
most of them, they're not that like that anymore. Like
No.
Babcock's got one of his cabins on the lake. It's
With a
like
pool.
It's ridiculous. Yeah, with the pool
Yeah,
back.
exactly.
It's ridiculous.
It's very deceiving.
No,
I live
but
in a
then,
cottage.
When
Yeah.
you get turn like 15 years old, like in the winter, there's nothing to do but drink and like play outdoor hockey and snowboard and stuff. So that's really all we did.
Did you have a sled or guys?
Where
You
do
know
you
guys with
snowboard?
sleds?
But a bunch of my buddies had sleds. I never
Yeah.
had one.
How do you
that's fun.
snowboard? Where? Oh, I guess you go over.
We actually have Blackstrap Mountain, which is
great-
made out of a pile of
Country
crap.
snowboarding.
No, I want to hear. That's a great question. I want to hear this. So, in the flattest landlocked province in Canada, where do you sled? Where do you snowboard?
Options. Actually, you got 3 options. Smart.
We make a big pile of snow.
No, I'm not being a smartass. I didn't know
It was
this.
a garbage heap. It's called Blackstrap Mountain.
A garbage heap. I love
literally
it.
has a chairlift
Canaday and his
that
buddies
big.
pull up to the snow pile behind the rink.
There's a chairlift to the top of the garbage heap.
It is, yeah. It's that's actually what it is. It was like an old garbage dump or some shit, and then they finally just like covered it over, and it's a it's the size of the mountains they
I
have
love
here,
it.
so it's
Oh,
not
right.
much different.
Is that big?
Well,
Yeah.
it takes you like 30 seconds to get to the bottom of the hill. And
I love
it takes
it.
you that
Yeah,
long to get to the
that's
bottom
like
of the
Ontario.
hill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
So you
not. It's
fall
nothing.
down and
Yeah, you
scrape your
slide
knee
on
in an
that.
old can or
glass sticking out of the bottom.
It's like a dirty diaper or something. I love it. Okay, no, I'm not taking the piss out of it. I just think it's funny.
No, I don't care, man.
Awesome. Okay, so finally, because I'm a goaltender,
Yeah.
you watch a lot of hockey when you play net.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and I find some of the best analysts on Hockey Night in Canada, Kelly Rudy and Kevin Weeks and stuff, they're goalies.
Yeah.
And there's a reason why they're analysts, because they have a very specific view of the game.
Yeah.
So what do you think about that? I mean, as far as you playing on a team and offering up your advice to players and stuff, I mean, as a goalie, again, like, you kind of get shut out of a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't get shutouts. No.
No, but not like that. I don't either,
Yeah,
I got a
you don't need
checklist.
chatter on the bench, right? You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like you're alone for.
Well, that's the thing. It's the lonely end of the rink, right? As Gord Downey said. So it's how do you have any influence? I mean, because I'm like you. I played net for years, and I played out, and I always respected the goalies' comments because they watched the game.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on that?
Well, now I'm at kind of an age and kind of a, position in my career where the guys that will actually listen a bit more to me about it too. And like, I'm seeing a lot with the Swarm now, especially having somebody like Grace as a tandem with me and her. Every second game, I actually get to run the Ds now. I'm helping out the team doing stuff like that. So I'm getting to see a lot more of it, which is pretty cool. But like, the guys are well aware of it. Like, I do see other things sitting on the back of the, backside of the rink the whole time. But, I'm well aware that I don't understand everything that's going on in the other end of the ice, because I am. So, just kind of knowing when to make your voice heard, I guess, and when not to, and sit back and let somebody else, take the reins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And again, it's interesting because you're watching so much hockey.
Yeah.
I mean, from the back end, you see how things are developing and stuff, and I think coaching sometimes, this growing up as a goaltender, you're kind of neglected when it comes to coaching. Like it for me, it was years.
Yeah.
I was in my teens when I had a goalie coach.
Yeah.
And then I'm kind of questioning him because I'm like, he grew up watching like, Grant Fuhr and like, legendary dudes. I'm like, this butterfly era. And I'm like,
Yeah.
like, what are you going to offer me? Because you used to
you're
go down and throw the stick out and stack the pads and,
Yeah.
so.
And
Yeah,
obviously,
it's
you
weird
picked up a whole bunch of that because that's
was
what
a
you
new
do
thing.
now.
Yeah, I love.
I stopped
Right.
learning after 1987, so
That's right.
that's fine though. I'm happy.
Yeah, love it, eh?
Yeah.
Oh no, that is the thing though. Like, goalie coaches weren't really a thing till
No, they weren't.
later on, and like shit, we never had one of those going through. Like, all my younger, junior draft years and stuff like that, we never had a goalie coach.
Mm-hmm.
I was standing net and getting in the way of the puck.
Stop the puck. It was
Yeah.
simple.
Like, you'd have
Stop the
goalie
puck.
camps and
That's right.
stuff like that, but no team had a coach and stuff. You'd have
No.
to go to specific camps in the summer, and yeah.
Very
Yeah,
cool.
goalie's been a whole new perspective for me. Have you, like, when I first started, I struggled to remember which team I had to stop the puck against.
Oh my
there was
God.
A few times
Really?
that I was like, why are my defensemen shooting on me? And then, split second later, you're like, oh yeah.
So I'm gonna jump.
You were having pre-games at a young age, Aaron.
No, this is just recently, but
Well,
yeah,
and I'm going to jump on that.
young age, a few
I'm going to
months
jump
ago.
on that because before I started playing like a high level hockey, I mean, you got dudes out there with different colored socks, and you spend most of your time as a goalie looking at the ice.
That's right.
And so your reference is looking at people's legs and their
Yes.
sticks.
Yeah.
That idiot that wants to have pink tape on his stick and he's the
Yeah.
best guy.
Oh.
That's really easy to remember.
Yeah.
So, you kind of your view of the game as a goalie is so much different than a player.
Yeah. Well, for
Oh.
me, it was being able to zone out as the puck went down the other end, right? And then, you're just sort of watching this hockey game. And then they're coming down and you're still watching. Oh, nice move. And then you're like, you look down and
shit.
you're like, oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm in net here. Right. Okay.
That's what happens when you're high, though.
Yes, it does happen. It does happen.
That's
I mean,
exactly
danger-
that's
doesn't
high
matter.
hockey. Wow, what a great play! He's gonna score.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm the
He
goalie.
didn't score.
Good goal, buddy.
Yeah, that's right. Nice
Yeah,
shot, man.
that's
Nice
why I
shot.
can't play when I'm high. Because I like the other team way too much.
Because it's summer, it's followed by 7 sorries.
Yeah.
Sorry.
He was the
I'll
most
see it.
apologetic
Sorry, man.
captain
Sorry.
I've ever seen.
Do it again.
What's that?
Every other captain in the BHL was like losing their shit on the ref, and Aaron would just be like, "What do you do, guys? What do you do?"
Oh, yeah, it's because he's usually the ref that's
ref.
being yelled at.
Yeah, exactly.
Captains.
Fucking blind, Somerville, fucking blind.
Yeah, but you're very diplomatic. It's like, well, do you want a ref, or I can just go out to the parking lot and just rip it hard, you know? Like, there's your choice, buddy. Like, whatever you want. Mind you, there was one game when one of our refs just threw it, pulled the chute, and was done. We're out. And I remember standing on the ice going, okay, what do we do now?
There was also one
'Cause
game
they
where the
left.
ref fought the Turkish guy.
That makes the league legit when the
Yeah, now
referee
it's a real like,
drops the
league.
mittens and fights somebody.
Yeah. Well, there's no mittens to
Can
drop.
you imagine
just
John
the whistle.
Koharski dropping the gloves
Would scare the shit
to
out of me.
fight somebody?
I remember that Turkish guy now. Was that just a year or two? Like the first year I was playing?
That wasn't Genghis. Actually,
He probably left I think he left midway through your first season, yeah.
What a loser.
But this is way back season 2, so like a good 7 years
Genghis.
ago. Him and the Russian Bear got into her.
Oh,
The Russian Bear was roughing,
it
yeah.
was political though.
And it was
Very
pretty
political.
pretty good.
Won.
Oh, come on.
Here, the bear.
The Soviet Union ones.
You try fighting a bear,
Stalin,
see what
yeah.
happens.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, Stalin.
And now Turkey's part of the Soviet Union again.
Stalin 1, gobble gobble 0.
The Turkish.
The Turkish. So hey man, how much of the third we got left there, Langer? You good to go?
No, I'm good. It's good. I want to go to Saskatchewan.
I do. I
Right.
want to go to Mount Garbage Heap and ride the.
Yeah, I know. I want
Now
to.
garbage. It's
I
gorgeous.
want to
this time of year.
snowboard down a garbage heap
That's right. I get on
and
the
watch my
chair,
dog run away for a week.
smoke a joint.
So
on my way up.
the third period's come to an end. So what do you think,
Okay.
Canaday? You want to stick around for OT or what?
Have I made OT?
You want to stick around for overtime?
Yes,
It's a tie game.
Oh, then I have to.
All right, Summer Langer, what do we got for OT?
Oh shit! Wow.
Oh, shite.
Looks like I'm
Okay.
winning.
Right.
Hold on, we'll do a musical interlude.
Okay.
All right. I got a few then.
Oh, you got some? Okay.
right.
Go ahead.
All right. Who is your biggest rival? Growing up and today.
Oh,
Did you have a nemesis growing up? Was there a guy on a certain team that always had your number, or would like rub it in your face after scoring, or like snow you or jab you? And it was
Kiwis
always
would call
number.
it a cunt.
yeah.
Yeah.
I've had a lot
Yeah.
of those. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've had a lot of those. I'm actually best friends with most of them now. That's the weird thing, because I end up changing
Yeah.
teams and shit. Like me and Remy hated each other. Like when I first came to Dunedin, Remy had
Right.
spare tickets to the Hyde Street party. He lived on Hyde Street, and me and the French guy came to the team. We were just like, "Hey, has anybody got tickets?" And Remy just was like, "Nah." He threw them in the garbage. She's like, "Fuck you." And then he stood up for me at my wedding. Like, times change.
Jeez. Right.
Yeah.
What's a Hind Street party?
Oh, have you never heard of Hyde Street, mate?
No.
Oh,
Right. Okay.
it was what sold me on didn't. Oh my
Right.
God. It was ridiculous.
Okay.
And then I didn't
I'll
really
have
get
to
to go
Google
the
it.
first year, thanks to Rem. Spent the whole time outside the fence trying to break in. But it's crazy. It's where all those kids like I don't know how many years ago fell through some guy's roof or some shit. It's that crazy.
Yes, I remember
party,
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
Yeah, I
the
remember that.
houses on one street called Hyde Street in Dunedin have just this absolute rager from like they start at like 3 in the morning and go through the whole next day. So it's like it was,
Yeah, because that's a crazy uni town, eh?
yeah,
Yeah.
it was
It's built on the
Wow.
back of
and you need to buy
debauchery.
tickets to the street
Eventually,
party?
you had to start buying
Yeah.
tickets, like and then like each house got a set of free ones or whatever, and then the rest were all sold. But we had got there after everything had been dished out, and then Remy, instead of giving me and the French import a ticket to Hyde Street, he just threw them in the garbage. Like, sweet, thanks, bro.
Right. What a fucking grand idea about That's like
who's
the Van
legendary
Wilder,
man who did
yeah.
that? That is Van Wilder.
You know,
Yeah, no
Or-
shit.
Those are, those are
It's huge. They have
chocolate
them every
eclairs
year
right
now,
there.
man.
you guys are, fuck, I can't remember his name. Bert Kreischer. When you're talking about the train, I got
Bert
thinking
Kreischer, yeah.
about the machine.
Yeah.
Where he's on the train. You
can't talk to the machine
like that. It's the fucking machine. Anyways,
I wonder if that was actually true.
apparently it's true. They're making a movie.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, so
Called
it's
The
real.
Machine.
That's
Yeah,
Oh,
man,
nice.
It's fucking real. Well,
That's
because Bert
hilarious.
Kreischer is Van Wilder, right?
Yeah.
That Van Wilder was modeled off Bert Kreischer, who partied in whatever college university for 8 years. Like that's all for real.
And wasn't
Apparently.
Oh, really? Eh? Have you seen his show? Have you seen his show where he where he's up at the cabin, where he invites somebody to a cabin, and they have no idea, but they're on his talk show.
Oh no.
So they don't find out till they get there. So it's like Bert Kreischer, and he's like, "Hey man, you want to come on up to the cabin?" And then when they get there to the cabin, it's like a show in the cabin, and you're stuck in a cabin with Bert Kreischer.
I think a
It's
worse
pretty
people
good.
to be stuck with.
Yeah.
He's got some crazy.
It'd be pretty
crazy
funny,
stories.
man. Yeah.
Like the machine story I watched, he did it with his shirt off. You know, just big, massive gut.
Oh yeah, he does every show
Yes.
like that.
Well, that's
yeah.
Bert.
He's like,
Yeah,
I
that's
know,
Bert.
I know, and just no shame, right? Just walk around like it ain't
Mm.
no thing. Yep, yep. And I was the machine. Anyway, sorry, that's what the train ride reminded me of.
Anything else for OT?
Do
All
you
right.
think the NHL season is going to actually kick off on time?
Yeah. Well, the rest.
Yeah,
of
I
the
don't
world
think they
stuff,
care
like,
overseas.
Yeah, nobody gives a shit anymore.
No,
like,
eh?
like it's
No, isn't that weird?
They've
Okay,
finally
what about-
the cons of shutting everything down? Don't they outweigh the pros of it drastically
Yeah.
now? Like it's just crippling countries, man.
Yeah.
Well,
It's like-
what about NHL players in the Olympics? And
I
think
hope
that's gonna happen.
I hope they don't screw
'Cause,
this up for us.
man,
Like,
I
that'd
saw
be
the
so good.
roster for Team Canada,
Oh.
and with the dream fucking line of fucking
McKinnon and Crosby.
Yeah,
Well, they're all
yeah.
they're all centers, the three of
That's
them. But like
fine.
that's what they
Yeah,
do.
that's
They're
fine.
like
I think
they have
they'll be
so many
okay.
good centers.
Yeah,
they'll
that's
just
fine.
yeah.
I
I don't know
Yeah,
how
eh?
to play left wing.
In the video games, that's what you
Right
do
wing.
anyway, right?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
You draft like 16 right wingers or centers,
right.
and it doesn't
Yeah.
I
matter.
was hearing people talk about how they would draft this, and there was a lot of people drafting it like you'd draft like a Tampa team and to go to
No.
the Olympics. You
No.
shouldn't do that. It should
Take
just
the best players.
all talent. You don't.
The thing
need
I don't
third
understand-
line,
the thing
fourth
that-
line grinders.
The thing that bothers me that people don't get is the best players in the NHL, growing up in minor hockey, they played in all situations.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
did. They killed
Oh, yeah.
penalties.
Coaches
All of
wrote
them.
That's what I.
So you don't need Rob Zaminer. You don't need friggin', some jobber that's a shutdown defenseman. No, you get the best players.
Yeah.
You pencil them in, and you just say go.
Go,
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
do your thing.
That's how you
It's
do
pretty
it.
crazy.
It's
I-
easy.
So
hope
that
they don't take
the
this
have
from
like
us.
Ryan O'Reilly as their fourth line center or something.
Yeah.
You know, you don't
and that's
need
not bad.
No.
you don't need like Jeff Finger or like some job dude. You know, you're our seventh defenseman.
Ken Danico.
You know, like you don't need
Yeah.
that. It's
Well,
stupid.
so they have it penciled in though, like they've done
Yeah.
an Olympic break still, but then supposedly it's not 100% set in stone or something.
No.
So they
No.
better not take this away.
Part of me thinks they're not going to do it because they've lost so much money
Yeah.
with
Over
what's
the last-
happened,
yeah.
and it's
Good
just.
point.
And we were talking the other night. I'm like, it's going to be a shame if we don't see, the McDavids and McKinnon and Matthews and all these guys in their prime are going to miss out, and it's such a
Man,
shame.
Yeah.
It's not just the Canadian team either. It's all the teams.
And
How
there's young stars.
yeah,
players in the
it's a
world.
whole new
coming
generation
together.
that haven't had the experience yet.
The
Yeah.
best
It's a shame.
of the best. Like the last Olympic tournament with the fucking best, best
Oh,
hockey
how good
tournament.
was that?
It was
Oh my
amazing,
God.
man. An
Right.
amazing hockey tournament. Yeah.
Edge of
What
your
was that?
seat
What was
shit.
that? 10
Yeah.
years ago?
Yeah. It
Mhm.
was. You know?
It's crazy.
I still remember watching that game too, watching the goal.
Where
Oh,
were you?
God. I was at my buddy's place in the basement. Like he's had everybody back home's got like nice basements.
Yeah,
where
that's
the
how you live at
basements
home.
are.
Get a basement. Yep.
Yeah. So it was. I have to clarify that it's like a fucking shocking thing when I tell people that we have basements back home. It's so different here.
We were in Gore.
That's where you
we
live.
found a bar that was a basement. It was
Yeah, it
fucking
looked like it wasn't in a basement, but
No.
it was like the model basement hangout room.
Yeah.
had like a
You
fire,
had a
roaring
pool
fire.
table
You guys were-
and a dartboard and the bar just
like
down the one
10
side. It
steps.
looked like somebody's basement.
Hotel room. It was
Oh.
fucking awesome, man.
I took the
Served
day
food
off and I
booze.
put down on the piece of paper cultural reasons. Because it was. And I remember going to Countdown and getting a box of beer, and I sat down at 8 in the morning and crushed it. And when 87 scored that, I honest to God hit the roof when they scored.
It was nuts.
And nobody was around to care or witness it.
You by yourself.
Completely by myself.
Screaming.
Asleep by 3 in the afternoon. It was awesome.
That was essentially like my
I'm done.
playoff run this year with the Habs. It was just me screaming by myself at 2:00 in the afternoon while everybody's working.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Bad timing for it.
It was a
but
good
whatever.
run. It's a good run.
Well, hey, Matty, thank you so much for stopping by, riding some pine with us, man. We're going to tie her up here.
Friend of
for-
the show.
Absolutely a friend of the
Friend
show
of
now,
the
man.
show.
You in here?
You're
It's
welcome
great.
back.
Keep it up.
Maybe one more time. Yeah,
I'm
for
okay with
sure.
that.
Maybe.
Maybe one more time.
What was
maybe.
my save percent average this game?
We don't keep
999?
stats, man.
I nailed it tonight. That's so good. Means I didn't get a shout out again though, but I'm
That's right.
fucking used to that.
It'd be 100, but our calculator doesn't go that high, so
Oh yeah, that's good.
it just stops at 9.99. It's a Casio from Radio Shack, so
That's
yeah.
right. And it's on a watch.
Yeah.
All right, until
Appreciate
next
that, boy.
time, we got episode 28 coming to you. And thank you for stopping by. And thank you for watching the show. Hit subscribe. Get the next one. And we'll see you next week.
Peace.
Woo!
Cause I'm riding the pine, riding the pine. It's Chronicles of the Fourth Line. I'm just sitting on a bench with two good friends of mine. That's why I'm riding the pine with Punchy Langer in summertime.